Today we observe a special day that's dedicated to the keepers of wisdom in our society, our senior citizens. Now they are the recipients of our respect, and we look up to them to learn from their past in order to build our future. (10월 2일) 오늘은 노인의 날입니다. 노인에 대한 사회적 관심과 공경의식을 높이기 위해 매해 10월 2일을 노인의 날로 정해서 기념하고 있는데요. 보건복지부가 노인의 날을 맞아 올해 100세를 맞은 어르신 1,550명에게 건강과 장수를 의미하는 청려장을 선물한다고 합니다. 청려장은 명아주라는 풀로 만든 가볍고 단단한 지팡이를 말하는데요. 통일신라 시대부터 조선시대까지 임금이 장수 노인에게 청려장을 주는 전통이 있었다고 합니다. 현재 고령화가 급속하게 진행되는 가운데 100세 이상 인구는 여자 15,000여 명, 남자 4,000여 명이라고 하네요. 청취자 여러분, 건강과 장수의 비법 뭐가 있을까요? Well, I can only imagine how reaching such a milestone might feel. But like Steve said yesterday about reaching 2 digits in your age, I guess reaching 3 digits is probably no different from being amazed and also being in awe. Well, with that in mind, let me give you today's quiz question. Here it is, a term that refers to senior citizens as a group is 1번, elderly, 2번, heavily.
안 웃겨요.
자, senior citizens를 뜻하는 또 다른 단어 골라주시면 되겠습니다. 1번 elderly, 2번 heavily 골라주시고요. 오늘도 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 쿨링 스포츠 젤 보내드릴게요. 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스는 무료로 이용 가능합니다. Okay then, let's kick off today's show with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
A Hong Kong police officer has shot a teenage demonstrator in the chest with a live round.
어제 홍콩의 시위 현장에서 경찰이 쏜 실탄에 18세 남학생이 가슴을 맞는 사건이 발생했습니다.
Seoul has vowed to respond sternly to any attempts by Tokyo to infringe on the nation's sovereignty after Japan lodged a complaint over a South Korean F-15K fighter jet's patrol flight over Dokdo Island.
공군 F-15K 전투기가 독도 인근 상공을 비행한 데 대해 일본이 항의하자 우리 국방부는 단호히 대응하겠다는 입장을 밝혔습니다.
A bridge has collapsed in Taiwan, injuring at least 10 people.
대만 북동부 항구에서 다리가 무너져 내려 최소 10명이 다쳤습니다.
Iran has announced that it is on track to create a new oil terminal on the Sea of Oman that will allow tankers to bypass the strategic Strait of Hormuz.
이란 당국이 호르무즈 해협을 우회해 오만해에서 바로 원유를 수출할 수 있는 육상 송유관을 건설 중이라고 밝혔습니다.
Peruvian President Martin Vizcarra has dissolved Congress as lawmakers refuse to back his anti-corruption reforms.
마르틴 비스카라 페루 대통령이 반부패 개혁에 반대하는 의회를 해산했습니다. And for the headlines and more, I'm joined by our elderly member of Morning Special, Steve Hatherley.
That's a great quiz question this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to our listeners. It is Wednesday, the second day of October, huh?
Yes, it is. How are you enjoying October so far?
48 hours in, are we, or so? Yeah, so far so good, although it's a little steamy this morning. I'm not sure if any of our listeners have ventured outside yet in Seoul, but it's kind of humid this morning. I'm not sure if that's due to the typhoon down south or not, but it's really steamy outside today.
맞아요. 지금 서울과 경기는 굉장히 공기가 습한데요. 지방은 지금 현재 비가 많이 오고 있다라는 소식을 들었습니다. 아무래도 지금 태풍의 영향으로 인해서 오늘, 내일 이렇게 비가 많이 쏟아질 것으로 예상이 되는데요. 남부지방에 계신 분들 오늘도 안전에 특별히 유의하셔야겠습니다. 자, 여러분의 사연 몇 가지 읽어드릴게요. 조주희 님이요. 안 웃겨요. 스티브쌤 크크크크크 해주셨고요. 끝번호 54455님도 안 웃겨요 라고 말하는 스티브쌤 너무 웃겨요.
My mic wasn't on. I had to make sure I was heard. I wanted my voice heard.
네, 그리고 꿀피보라는 아이디 쓰시는 분도 스티브 선생님 센스 짱 이렇게 보내주셨고 이동일님 안녕하세요. 최수진 선생님, 스티브 선생님 금방이라도 울음을 터뜨릴 것 같은 하늘입니다. 출석해요 라고 보내주셨습니다. Yeah, it's looking really grey. It's about to rain in lots of places. It's already raining in some of the southern regions.
Yeah, but at least the nighttime temperatures are really nice. I was Tuesday is recycling day at my apartment.
Oh, really?
So it's the only day of the week that I can take out my recyclables. So I took them out last night around 10:30 or so, and it was really nice. It was nice and cool. You could still wear a t-shirt. You didn't need a sweater though. I really love these types of temperatures.
Well, wherever you're tuning in from this morning, let us know what the temperature or what it feels like in your area. And of course, quiz answers. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys. I think you might know what the answer to the quiz is. It's what you refer, a word that refers to senior citizens. And
I didn't hear you.
안 들리세요? Okay, and if you'd like to listen to the headlines again, you can do so by visiting our website, Morning Special 홈페이지에 들어가셔서요. 조금 전에 스티브 선생님과 제가 읽어드린 헤드라인 무료로 다시 들으실 수 있습니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Yeah, let's get a little serious here for a minute. Something terrible happened in Hong Kong yesterday.
You did.
A Hong Kong police officer has shot a teenage demonstrator in the chest with a live round.
어제 홍콩의 시위 현장에서 경찰이 쏜 실탄에 18세 남학생이 가슴을 맞는 사건이 발생했습니다. Now, some reports say it was his left shoulder, some say it was his chest, but I guess it's, an area around there, right?
The point is that he was shot with a live round, and a live round means a real bullet. So this happened at the same time as the major celebrations were happening in Beijing at Tiananmen Square, right?
Yeah, it was a very festive day in China.
But as we were talking about that yesterday, though, we mentioned at the end of the story that there would be a big protest in Hong Kong trying to take attention away, if you will, from the festivities in Beijing. And they did accomplish that goal, probably not the way they wanted to. This is very scary. So Yolanda Yu, she's a spokeswoman for the Hong Kong police. She said in a video posted on the police force's Facebook page that the protester was an 18-year-old. He was a high school student. Who had been shot in the left shoulder. She said that he was conscious as he was taken to the hospital. Now, this is important for a few different reasons. 51 people had been sent to the hospital by Tuesday evening, early Tuesday evening.
Wow.
But there's a video circulating online, and you and I have seen this video, and it's kind of hard to recognize what's going on because all the protesters are dressed in black, and then the police officers are dressed in green. But if you watch it, what you see is the protesters had one police officer down on the ground and they were beating him with metal pipes.
Right.
And then this young 18-year-old boy turned and he took a swing at another police officer who had his gun drawn. The officer pointed the gun at him, and as the boy was striking the police officer, that's when the officer fired his gun.
어제 이제 홍콩에서 실탄에 맞은 18세 학생 소식이 전해졌는데요. 실탄이 사용된 것은 처음이라고 합니다. It's the first time that ammunition was used in any of the protests that have been going on for 4 months already now.
Yeah, I mean, they've been using tear gas and rubber bullets and beanbag
Water
rounds.
cannons.
Anything but live rounds at the protesters. They've used live rounds to fire them in the air as
but not
warning
at the
shots.
people.
Exactly.
So yesterday, being a very significant day in China, I think the police upped their game a little bit in Hong Kong.
Yeah, and the police are saying this was self-defense. And if you watch the video, I mean, I'm not taking one side or the other. I'm not taking the police's side or the protesters' side, but the protesters were attacking the police with metal pipes. They already had one officer down on the ground. Does that justify using a live round? I'm sure that's what the world will be debating.
You also mentioned that a lot of the people were dressed in black. Why was that?
The protesters dressed in black, we talked about this at the end of the thing yesterday, right? At the end of the Beijing story. They were dressing in black for a specific purpose. It was representative of something, yeah?
Mourning.
Yeah.
And they were mourning the death of the students of the Tiananmen Square.
Back in 89.
Incident 30 years ago, exactly. So very, very different atmosphere and vibe in Beijing and also in Hong Kong. 어제 베이징 같은 경우에는 건국 70주년을 맞아서 굉장히 축제 분위기였습니다. 밤까지도 폭죽을 터뜨리고 아주 분위기가 좋았다고 하는데요. 홍콩에서는 정반대의 분위기를 우리가 볼 수 있었습니다. 애도한다고 하면서 이제 30년 전에 천안문 광장에서 목숨을 잃은 학생들을 애도하는 마음을 가지고 시위를 했다. 이렇게 시위자들은 설명을 했는데요. Yesterday, I also understand that the largest number of arrests were made in any single day.
And this is the most violent that it's become as well, all through the months that that the media has been covering these stories. This is the most violence that we've seen.
All right, we'll leave that story there. We have another China-related story in our news focus, I believe, later on. Let's go on to headline number 2.
Seoul has vowed to respond sternly to any attempts by Tokyo to infringe on the nation's sovereignty after Japan lodged a complaint over a South Korean F-15K fighter jet's patrol flight over Dokdo Island.
공군 F-15K 전투기가 독도 인근 상공을 비행한 데 대해 일본이 항의하자 우리 국방부는 단호히 대응하겠다는 입장을 밝혔습니다.
Right. So earlier in the day, Japan called in a South Korean military attaché stationed in the country. They lodged a complaint over, as I mentioned, this South Korean F-15K fighter jet's patrol. It was over Dokdo, and that was done as part of a ceremony to mark the 71st Armed Forces Day.
Exactly.
Japan didn't like it, and they lodged a formal complaint.
And that is because Japan still believes that Dokdo is their territory. And they were saying, why are you flying jets over our territory, so to speak? And of course, Korea has responded by saying it is not your territory, it is ours. And on our day to mark armed forces, it's only right that we do that.
Absolutely. And we know as well that the relationship between Korea and Japan has not been great as of late because of the export restrictions that Japan imposed on Korea. And we saw people here in Korea boycotting Japanese goods. So this obviously is not going to help the diplomatic relations.
Talking about diplomats, some of the top diplomats in Japan, Korean diplomats, were called in by government officials in Japan, where they were told that the Japanese government is very, very upset at this issue, and South Korea has said that was an inappropriate measure for the Japanese government to take.
Correct, but the response from Korea was, we strongly protest the unfair claim repeated by Japan and sternly urge it to stop repeating it as such an act.
네, 그렇습니다. 어제 국군의 날을 맞아서 우리나라에서 이제 독도 주변에 공군 전투기가 비행을 했는데요. 이것에 대해서 일본이 일본 땅이라고 믿기 때문인지 항의를 했습니다. 이것에 대한 반응으로 우리 국방부는 전혀 말이 안 된다. 이것은 우리의 땅 위에 우리의 전투기가 비행을 했을 뿐인데 라고 하면서 이제 단호히 대응하겠다는 입장을 밝혔고요. 어제 일본에서 고위 이제 그 관료들이 우리 측 관료들이 일본에서 일본 측 정부 government members 만나서 사실 어떤 그런 항의의 표시를 들었다라는 얘기가 전해지고도 있습니다. Let's move on to our next headline.
Headline number 3 this morning, a bridge has collapsed in Taiwan, injuring at least 10 people.
네, 대만 북동부 항구에서 다리가 무너져 내려서 최소 10명이 다쳤습니다.
This is very scary. So this is a 140-meter bridge. That's 459 feet. It collapsed in northeast Taiwan. There was an oil tanker on the bridge at the time, and it sent the oil tanker into the water, killing at least 2 people in the fishing boats that were below the bridge. There was a video that was posted online by a Taiwanese legislator that showed the bridge falling into the water. 12 people injured, 2 dead bodies found at 8 p.m. local time, and 6 fishermen were believed to be trapped in boats 12 hours after the bridge collapsed into the harbor.
This is actually a relatively small bridge. You mentioned it's 140 meters, and it's actually one single arch frame, right? We're looking at, and it collapsed. No one knows why, because the weather was apparently very nice yesterday in Taiwan. So they are looking into the cause, but nonetheless, this truck, it collided with 3 ships as soon as as the bridge collapsed, and we are seeing a lot of injuries coming out of this.
That's right. And the Taiwanese president said we must find out the cause of the incident and we should not evade responsibility. She's ordered security checks for all old bridges in Taiwan in the aftermath of that.
네, 정확한 붕괴 원인은 아직 밝혀지지 않고 있지만 조사 중이라고 합니다. 어제 뭐 특별히 날씨의 문제도 아니었던 것 같고요. 이제 다리가 굉장히 좀 작은 다리인데 딱 하나의 스트럭처로 이루어진 아치 모양인데 이게 갑자기 무너지는 바람에 지나가고 있던 트럭이 물에 빠지고 거기에 있었던 배와 충돌을 하면서 인명피해가 있었던 것으로 보여지고요. 이것도 역시 아직 집계 중이라고 합니다. Let's go on to headline number 4.
Headline number 4. Iran has announced that it is on track to create a new oil terminal on the Sea of Oman that will allow tankers to bypass the strategic Strait of Hormuz.
이란 당국이 호르무즈 해협을 우회해 오만해에서 바로 원유를 수출할 수 있는 육상 손유관을 건설 중이라고 밝혔습니다.
Right. So this is a story that can best be explained through visuals, I think. So if you are enjoying Poinen Radio today, then have a look at your screens and you'll see what we're talking about. So the Strait of Hormuz, as you can see, it's circled there in a red circle.
It's a very narrow waterway.
It's a very narrow waterway, and all of the countries inside that strait, use that strait for oil shipping purposes, including Iran, right? So because so many countries use it, because so many ships use it, it gets congested sometimes. It's just like bad shipping traffic.
Yep.
So now Iran has come up with a plan to kind of bypass the Strait of Hormuz and make it easier for their oil tankers to pick up and deliver oil, cutting days off of the delivery. So they've invested $52 million. They signed contracts worth about that money with 3 local companies. And here's what they're going to do. So, Paul, can we bring up that next map, please, if you don't mind? So what they're going to do, you can see that Jask Island. So that's going to be the area where the new facility will be built. That's where tankers will be able to pick up the oil from. That's the new pickup spot.
And that's in Iran.
And that's in Iran.
Yep.
And if you go, but you can, as you can see, it bypasses the Strait of Hormuz. So the oil tankers will no longer have to enter into that strait.
Ah, I see.
Can we go to the third visual, please, Paul, if you don't mind? And you can see the red circle there. Of the area, that's where the oil was currently being picked up from. That's where the pipeline is going to start.
Okay.
So it's like 1,000 kilometers of pipeline that's going to go from that area, from the Bushehr province. That's the red circle right there. 1,000 kilometers of pipeline all the way to the place that we just saw before. And that's the big project for oil in Iran.
네, 세계에 굉장히 많은 원유가 이 지역을 통해서 수출이 되죠. 그래서 이 지역에서 분쟁이 있을 때마다 원유 가격에도 큰 영향을 미치기도 하는데 이렇게 송유관을 직접 만들므로써 조금 더 수출하는데 들어가는 시간을 좀 줄이겠다라는 얘기도 될 수 있겠고요. This could possibly sort of alleviate some of the disputes that happen within the waters as well.
Could do. I mean, this is a project that's been in mind for a long time. Back in September of last year, Hassan Rouhani, he's the Iranian president, he announced that a major part of Iran's exports would be shifted to Jask, and Jask is the area that we're talking about there. But this is a really important part of the world, that Strait of Hormuz, because when Iran has sanctions from the United States or threat of military action from the United States, they've threatened to block that off, thereby cutting off the world's oil supply from that part of the world. And that's when we see oil prices go way, way up, right?
How long is this going to take?
2021, the summer of 2021 is when it's meant to be completed.
송유관 건설이 이제 한 2021년 정도가 되면은 완공될 것이다라고 얘기를 하고 있는데요. Of course, with the tensions ongoing between America and Iran, we'll have to wait and see what the response will be from Washington. All right, let's move on to our final headline.
Peruvian President Martin Vizcarra has dissolved Congress as lawmakers refused to back his anti-corruption reforms.
마르틴 비스카라 페루 대통령이 반부패 개혁에 반대하는 의회를 해산했습니다.
So he did this, Peruvian President Martin Vizcarra. This is kind of unprecedented in this, well, not unprecedented, but it's very seldomly used, dissolving Congress. And he used the power to shut down the opposition-controlled legislature. He is accusing them of stonewalling his attempts to curb widespread corruption. So they are now calling for his impeachment, but they don't hold positions anymore because he dissolved the Congress. So they are going to try to do that, but it seems like that attempt by Congress members will not be successful.
그러니까 페루 대통령이 의회를 해산했기 때문에 의원들이 그동안에는 대통령의 뭐 탄핵까지도 준비를 하고 있다라는 뭐 얘기들이 조심스럽게 나오고 있었습니다만 못하게 된 거죠. 해산을 했으니까. 그렇다면 이제 또 다시 의원들을 뽑아야겠네요. Are they going to have another vote?
Well, who's in charge right now? Mr. Vizcarra, along with someone else, they claim to be the legitimate leaders of Peru. Miss Arauz is her name. Mr. Vizcarra has claimed or argued that his move to dissolve Congress was constitutional. Others are saying it's not constitutional at all. So I think they're going to be maybe voting on that and trying to figure out whether that was constitutional at all.
네. 그리고 이제 아마 뭐 총선이 내년 1월 26일쯤에 다시 열릴 것으로 예상이 되기는 하지만 대통령은 그렇게 발표를 했습니다. 하지만 지금 의회가 해산되면서 의원들은 받아들일 수 없다라는 입장을 보이고 있죠. The opposition party, of course, is trying to free their former leader, Fujimori.
Oh, this is quite dramatic, Peruvian politics, and it goes back many, many years, doesn't it?
Yeah, she's the ex-first daughter of a former president. So, of course, if she does get released, and you know things could look quite different before the next elections.
Indeed.
All right. Well, those were our headlines for this morning. Let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
I don't want to.
해주세요.
The quiz question this morning, I'm just teasing. A term to refer to senior citizens as a group is, number one, elderly, number two, Hatherley.
네.
Should I read that in an elderly voice?
Yes, please do.
The term to refer to senior citizens as a group is the number one, elderly, or number two, Hatherley. I don't know why I did a British accent there. I said just old, not old and British.
짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 카카오톡 플러스랑 반디 게시판 무료로 이용 가능합니다. 자, 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 쿨링 스포츠 젤 보내드릴 거고요. 노래 듣고 와서 여러분의 사연과 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. This is Dust in the Wind by Kansas. You're listening to Morning Special on this Wednesday. Welcome to the show. If you've just joined us, let's take a look at your messages. Now, this listener who has not sent in their name, we'd like to ask that you do after you hear us read it, has sent this lovely message. Good morning. 저희 부모님께서는요, 연세가 있으시지만 탁구나 등산 같은 취미 활동을 하시면서 건강하게 지내세요. 건강의 비결은 역시 좋아하는 일을 하면서 즐겁게 사는 게 아닌가 싶습니다. 라고 보내주셨어요. 이 사연 보내주신 분, 다시 한번 성함 보내주시면은 저희가 읽어드리겠습니다. 모니터 상에 제 컴퓨터의 문제인지 이름이 뜨지가 않네요. 감사합니다. Yeah, one of the secrets to longevity, for this person at least, is to have a nice hobby like hiking or playing table tennis.
I agree. I guess keeping yourself busy physically and keeping your mind busy mentally. Yeah, just keeping yourself occupied, I think, right?
Exactly. Doing nothing, I think, ages you.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right.
네, 끝번호 6692 쓰시는 분이요. Pure water and exercise and good food. These are key to longevity.
Yes, good food. Because good food makes you happy, right?
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
In the world?
Yeah, if you have one.
You know, I was in Bangkok not so long ago with Sid Kim, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was his birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had a gathering there for him, a golf weekend. And we were having dinner and we were talking about our favorite foods in the world. And we both agreed that Korean food, Indian food, and Mexican food would be our top three in terms of favorites because with each bite of Korean food, Indian food, and Mexican food, there's so much flavor in one bite
That's
of
true.
food. And my favorite Korean dish, I think, is bosam. Because when you make the sam, you have the kimchi and the garlic and that little shrimp juice, whatever that is.
Oh, I want some of that right now.
Yeah, you got the doenjang in there. Then you get the pork and the leaf. It's just so many flavors in one little bite, right?
보쌈 너무 먹고 싶네요.
Yeah.
Oh, I love 보쌈.
Me too.
Yes, so enjoy food, enjoy life and exercise. These are some of the ways we can extend our life, I suppose. 안미경님은요, 전남 나주 비가 지금 많이 옵니다. 내일 결혼 기념일이라서 여행 예약했는데요. 결국 취소했어요. 속상하지만 안전이 최고죠 하셨습니다. I think a lot of people cancelled their mini vacations this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the typhoon.
Yep, but it's a good excuse to stay inside, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot safer too.
Absolutely. 김명희님이요. 몇 달 전부터 준비했는데요. 태풍 와서 비 오는 바다만 구경하게 생겼어요. 속상해요. 라고 보내주셨습니다. Another person, I think, has arrived at their destination, but isn't able to do much.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to cancel before you go, that's one thing. But if you're there,
Yeah,
right?
and you're just watching the storm.
Yeah, nothing you can do but stay in your hotel room, I guess.
Yeah, and listen to Morning Special and send us lots of messages.
Hey, there are worse things, right?
네. 이형경 님이요. 울산입니다. 하늘에 구멍 났어요 하고 사진 보내주셨어요.
Oh my goodness.
와우. 비가 많이 왔네요.
It looks like end of days.
네. 지금 남부지방에서 청취하고 계시는 분들 모두 stay dry 하셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Paul's asking, are you driving or scuba diving?
아이고, 네. 안전운전도 모두 하시고요. 자, 김보경 님이요. 저희 할머니가 올해 99세 생신을 맞으십니다. 할머니 생각이 더 나네요. 건강하게, 행복하게 삽시다 라고 보내주셨어요. That's really important, I think, to live happily. It doesn't matter how long you live. I think as long as you live happily, right?
Yeah, you said doing nothing ages you. I think there's science to back this up.
Yeah?
Stress ages you.
Oh, absolutely.
So I try to live as stress-free as possible. It's not easy to do, right? There are many, many things throughout the course of a day that will give you stress. Your work and the people around you and strangers in the streets and things like this. Traffic can do it, but try to let it go.
Yeah. Do you feel that more so at your age?
I think as people get older, they learn to deal with that a little bit better. To be honest with you, yeah, you just get to realize that when you're younger, if you have a fight with someone, then, it gives you so much stress, right?
Yeah.
So much anxiety. But as you get older, I think you realize, it's just not worth the amount of energy that it costs.
I feel that way as well.
Yeah. Totally not worth the energy.
자, 이렇게 장수의 비결 여러 가지 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 오늘은 좀 스트레스를 내려놓고 하루를 보내봤으면 좋겠습니다. 긍정적인 에너지 저희가 전해드리도록 하겠습니다. But of course, some of our stories don't have that positive spirit. But nonetheless, we will try to keep that in the air. And we're going to look at our news focus stories now. 자, 그럼 첫 번째 news focus 살펴볼게요. 중국 건국 70주년을 맞아 열린 대규모 열병식에서 중국의 차세대 대륙간 탄도미사일 ICBM 둥펑 41이 처음 등장했습니다. Let's listen to the story.
China has celebrated 70 years of Communist Party rule with a promise from President Xi Jinping that no force can shake the status of this great nation. A military parade past Tiananmen Square was also held, giving Beijing a chance to show off its most advanced weaponry, including the DF-41, considered as one of the world's longest-range missiles capable of hitting continental U.S. A civilian parade was also staged featuring the bicycles China was known for before it became an economic juggernaut. Xi watched the parade from the same spot where Mao stood to announce the establishment of the People's Republic of China on October 1st, 1949.
네, 어제 중국은 10월 1일 건국 70주년을 맞아서 역대 최대 규모의 열병식을 열었습니다. 하루 종일 진행이 됐죠. 근데 거기서 여러 가지 것들이 선보여졌지만 그중에서도 대륙간 탄도미사일 ICBM이 처음 등장한 게 있었는데 둥펑 41입니다. Now, Beijing showed off its most advanced weaponry yesterday, didn't it?
They did indeed. To show off can have a couple of different meanings depending on the context.
Okay.
In this context, it's to proudly display something, right? If you or if we got new wallpaper in this room and we put the Poinen radio cameras on the wallpaper, we would want to show off our new designs.
Sure.
We're proud of the designs. We want to display them. That's one meaning. The other meaning can be to brag.
Right.
Sometimes when a boy likes a girl, he will try to do 30 push-ups in front of her. And what he's doing is he's bragging about his ability. Why?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, to proudly display what he can do. But the context is a little bit different there.
Yeah.
It means bragging in a sense, right? So you can say, stop showing off.
아, 맞아요. show off 그러면 자랑하다라는 뜻도 있지만 여기서는 이제 선보이다라는 뜻으로 이해를 하면 되겠습니다. 비슷한 표현으로 자랑하다, brag가 있습니다. A civilian parade was also staged, and China, of course, is known as an economic juggernaut.
Yeah, this is a fun word, juggernaut. Juggernaut. What it means is powerhouse. So China, a long time ago in their history, they were not very powerful economically.
Right.
But now, globally, they are. So we can call them an economic juggernaut. We hear this term a lot in sports, too. If one team is a very powerful team, right, and they have so many star players, then we can call that team a juggernaut, meaning a strong force that is very difficult to defeat.
여기서는 이제 굉장히 큰 힘이 있다라는 의미로 앞에 economic가 있으니까 경제 강국으로 보면 될 것 같고요. 보통은 이제 큰 힘이 있는 우세한 운동팀이라든지 이런 것을 말합니다.
And that's the key, I think. China is a country.
Yeah.
A team is a large group of people.
Sure.
We use this term about large groups, not usually individuals.
Right. Of course, yesterday marked the 70th anniversary of the current government, and that is expressed here with the term establishment.
Right. So Xi watched the parade from the same spot as Mao when he announced the establishment of the People's Republic of China. Establishment, you can also say formation, when something is formed, when something is created.
Right. establishment라고 하는 이 단어는 이제 뭔가가 이제 만들어졌다라는 의미가 되겠고요. 이 경우에는 이제 건국이라고 보면 될 것 같습니다. Sometimes you see T-shirts with the prince EST dot.
Yeah, what does that mean? Established.
Yeah, and then you have like a date, 1975, for example.
Right.
So,
Morning Special was established in the mid to late 1990s,
1997?
right? Yeah, that's when the show was formed
Yeah.
or created or established.
All right. Let's listen to the story one more time.
China has celebrated 70 years of Communist Party rule with a promise from President Xi Jinping that no force can shake the status of this great nation. A military parade past Tiananmen Square was also held, giving Beijing a chance to show off its most advanced weaponry, including the DF-41, considered as one of the world's longest-range missiles capable of hitting continental U.S. A civilian parade was also staged featuring the bicycles China was known for before it became an economic juggernaut. Xi watched the parade from the same spot where Mao stood to announce the establishment of the People's Republic of China on October 1st, 1949.
Let's go over to the Philippines for our next news focus story. 자, 두 번째 뉴스 포커스입니다. 필리핀 서민들의 발이라 불리는 지프니의 존폐를 놓고 정부와 운송업계 간의 첨예한 갈등을 빚고 있다고 한다는 소식인데요. Let's listen to the story.
The classic jeepney, a staple of Filipino culture, is being phased out due to a modernization program from the Filipino government. The program essentially aims to phase out jeepneys by 2020. The vehicles that are more than 15 years old are to be replaced with newer models of vehicles that will supposedly be more cost-efficient and environmentally friendly. The idea, however, has been labeled by transport groups and several Filipinos as being anti-poor.
네, jeepney라고 하는 이 교통수단은 제2차 세계대전 이후 미군의 군용 지프를 개조한 교통수단이고요. 요금이 굉장히 저렴하다고 합니다. 그래서 널리 쓰이는데 하루에도 300만 명 이상이 Philippines, what's the capital of the Philippines?
Manila?
네, 마닐라에서만 300만 명 이상이 사용을 한다고 합니다. 근데 이제 요금이 저렴해서 널리 쓰이지만 환경오염의 원인이 되고 있다고 하고요. 또 승객의 안전을 위협한다는 지적을 받아서 정부에서는 교체하자라고 얘기를 하고 있고요. 운송업계에서는 안 된다. 그러면 가격이 올라가고 서민의 부담이 늘어난다라고 얘기를 하고 있죠. We have a picture right now on a 보이는 라디오.
Yeah,
wow, look at that.
Yeah, these are apparently these are old U.S. military vehicles.
Yeah, jeeps.
Yeah.
That's why they're called jeepneys.
Indeed. I've seen these multiple times.
Have you?
They carry so many passengers.
Wow.
They're taxis, essentially, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now
They're like little buses, kind of.
Yeah, and the Filipino government wants to get rid of them.
Okay, so the government says it's trying to phase out this jeepney.
When you phase something out, it means that you slowly decrease the number of it over time until it's gone. But over time is the key here.
Right.
It's not done immediately.
Right.
It's not like tomorrow all of the jeepneys in the Philippines will be gone.
Right.
No, there will be a slow reduction. So for example, today there are 200,000. That's just an example number. By the end of the year, there will be 80,000. By next summer, 40,000. That is slowly phasing something out until eventually the number is zero.
네, 점진적으로 뭔가를 없애다, 단계적으로 없애다라고 할 때 phase out라는 표현을 쓰면 되겠습니다. I think the government is planning to get rid of about 80% of the jeepneys by next year, so they will be phasing it out month by month. The program essentially aims to phase out jeepneys by 2020.
Indeed, and the vehicles will supposedly be more cost efficient and environmentally friendly. So supposedly is a word that means they say that or we think so, but you can't be 100% sure right now.
뭐뭐라고 한다, supposedly라는 것은 이게 100% 사실은 아닐 수 있다라는 게 그런 의미가 들어 있습니다. So the newer models will supposedly be more cost efficient and environmentally friendly.
Right, so they say they will, but we don't know right now.
Okay.
And that's why we can use the word supposedly. What's the weather for tomorrow in Seoul? Well, the weather says it's going to rain, but we don't know that yet. So we can say supposedly it's going to rain tomorrow.
그렇죠. 그래서 뭐 비용 절감이 될 것이다. 그리고 환경에도 훨씬 좋을 것이다. 라는 얘기들이 나오고 있지만 이게 정말 그럴지 안 그럴지는 아직 잘 모른다는 내용이고요. Now this idea has been labeled by transport groups as anti-poor.
Pretty simple meaning here. Labeled, called. If you put a label on your shirt that says Sue, then you have been labeled, I suppose, in a literal sense.
Yep.
This is a figurative meaning, simple meaning, that they are calling that anti-poor movement by Filipinos, right?
네. 그래서 이제 anti-poor라는 것 자체만 봤을 때는 poor는 이제 원래 불우한 사람을 얘기를 하지만 서민들을 여기선 지칭합니다. 그러니까 서민에 반하는 행동이라고 사람들이 이렇게 명명을 했다. 이름을 지었다. 레이블을 붙였다. 내지는 뭐 딱지를 붙였다라고 볼 수도 있을 것 같네요. Okay, let's listen to this story one more time.
The classic jeepney, a staple of Filipino culture, is being phased out due to a modernization program from the Filipino government. The program essentially aims to phase out jeepneys by 2020. The vehicles that are more than 15 years old are to be replaced with newer models of vehicles that will supposedly be more cost-efficient and environmentally friendly. The idea, however, has been labeled by transport groups and several Filipinos as being anti-poor.
All right, let's remind our listeners of the quiz again.
The quiz, once again, is a term to refer to senior citizens or a term that refers to senior citizens as a group. Is the number one elderly or number two Heatherly?
짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스는 무료로 이용 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 쿨링 스포츠 젤 보내드릴게요. When we come back, we'll take a look at another news-focused story. 경현희님 says, 스트레스 해소법은 모스 듣기 라고 보내주셨습니다. Yeah, great way to get rid of stress. Listen to Morning Special. Thank you so much for that. Here's Ariana Grande with Seven Rings. 자, 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 남극 대륙에서 세 번째로 큰 빙붕인 아메리 빙붕에서 무려 3,150억 톤에 이르는 거대 빙산이 떨어져 나갔다고 하는데요. Let's listen to the story.
A gargantuan iceberg about the size of Greater London has calved from the Amory ice shelf in East Antarctica, according to expert monitors. Although scientists said they did not believe it was linked to climate change, it is the first major calving event on the Amory ice shelf since 1963-1964. Researchers have been studying the ice shelf since the 1960s and currently have instruments on the ice that are measuring the impact of ocean melt and ice flow.
So it's the first time in 50-something years that this has happened. We have the picture on our Boynan Radio right now. On the left, September 20th. On the right, September 25th. And you can see the ice shelf has completely detached itself from the main iceberg.
Yep.
All right, my goodness.
Not linked to climate change, though, they don't think.
Okay, so a gargantuan iceberg about the size of Greater London has calved. So let's look at gargantuan first.
Gargantuan, that's a fun word, isn't it? Gargantuan. 4 syllables there. And the third syllable is spelled T-U-A-N, right? But it's pronounced C-H. Gargantuan.
Right.
What it means is huge. This thing is the size of Greater London. It's massive. It's enormous. It's gargantuan.
맞아요. 정말 크다라고 할 때 거대하다라는 의미의 gargantuan을 쓸 수 있겠습니다. And this has calved. It's the first major calving since 1963 and 64. Calve 그러면은 송아지 아닌가요? Isn't that baby cow?
That's what I thought. I didn't know what this word meant before I looked it up for the show today. And the reason I didn't know it is because it's specific to icebergs.
I see.
So what it means is when one chunk of an iceberg breaks off from the main part, that's called a calving.
아, 네. 그러니까 보통 이제 암소가 새끼소를 낳을 때도 calving 한다고 하긴 합니다. 같은 스펠링인데 여기서는 다른 의미로 C-A-L-V-E라고 하면은 아주 구체적인 이 빙산의 모습을 우리가 생각을 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 그때만 쓰이는 표현인데 빙산의 일부가 부서져서 나갈 때, 떨어져 나갈 때 carving 한다고 합니다.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could think of cows to remember this expression.
Yeah,
Because
a big
when-
chunk of the cow leaves
A little
its body.
baby cow breaks off from the
Yeah.
main cow. I suppose you could use that to remember
Right.
it.
지금 또 보이는 라디오로 영상을 띄워드리고 있는데요. You can see the iceberg in the video that we're showing right now. It is big to start off with.
It's gargantuan.
It is gargantuous, but the part that broke off from it also really, really big. Mm-hmm. Now, researchers have been studying the ice shelf in Korean Bingbung since the 1960s, and currently they have instruments on the ice that are measuring the impact of ocean melt and ice flow.
Yep, there's a guitar. There's a French horn. Kidding. Instruments in this case does not mean musical instruments. It means tools. Now, I don't know what those tools are. I don't know what those instruments would be, but they have some things on there that will measure ice flow, ocean melt, and send that data back to wherever they are. Those
Right.
tools that help you, those are referred to as instruments.
네, 기구를 보통 이제 instrument라고 하죠. 악기도 instrument지만 그때는 엄밀히 말하자면 musical instrument라고 하는 게 맞겠고요. 여기서는 이제 과학 기구를 뜻하겠습니다. Let's listen to this story one more time.
A gargantuan iceberg about the size of Greater London has calved from the Amory ice shelf in East Antarctica, according to expert monitors. Although scientists said they did not believe it was linked to climate change, it is the first major calving event on the Amory ice shelf since 1963-1964. Researchers have been studying the ice shelf since the 1960s and currently have instruments on the ice that are measuring the impact of ocean melt and ice flow.
Well, it's time to announce the answer to the quiz. What is it?
The term that refers to senior citizens as a group is the number one, elderly, number two, Hatherley. If anyone texted in number two as the answer, you are not getting a Christmas gift from me this year. The answer is number one, elderly.
네, 혹시 2번 정답 보내신 분 있나요? 계신가요?
없죠?
없기를 바라겠습니다. 정답은 1번입니다. elderly 축하드립니다. 김운정님, 김종광님, 린친님, 천승환님, 그리고 김호빈님 쿨링 스포츠 젤 보내드릴게요. Steve, what's today's expression?
Let's do phase out.
All right.
Phase out means to slowly eliminate something until it will be gone. In the context of the article, we talked about the jeepneys, and the
Yeah.
Filipino government will slowly phase them out. But we can use this in our own personal lives as well.
Oh.
Let's say that you are a huge fan of junk food, but
which I am.
you are trying to lose some weight. Are you going to boom, stop eating pizza and hamburgers and candy and all of those sugary snacks 100%? No, that's not your plan. Your plan is to phase them out of your diet, meaning instead of having one pizza per week, I'll have one pizza per month. And then next month, I'm not going to have a pizza, but the next time I will have one until it's gone. You slowly eliminate something until it no longer exists.
그렇죠. 단계적으로 뭔가를 없앨 때 phase out라는 표현을 씁니다. You can phase out food, you can phase out jeepneys, anything really.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for that.
Okie dokie. Have a great day, and we shall see you tomorrow.
We're going to try and phase out and go into head two. Have a nice day, Steve.
Watch, I'm going to phase myself out right now.
네, 단계적으로 한번 나가보세요. All right. Well, in part two, we have Say What and also Travel with Alex. Taking us there now is Working on a Dream by Bruce Springsteen.